Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naranjeva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastapraesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 7, text number 24, 23 and 24. Tattejasa hataruchaha Sannajivvaha sa sadhuvasaha Sannajivvaha sa sadhuvasaha Murdna dhritanjali putta Murdna dhritanjali putta Upatastur adokshajam Tattejasa hataruchaha Sannajivvaha sa sadvasaha Murdna dhritanjali putta Upatastur adokshajam. Tejasa, by the glaring effulgence of his body. Ataruchaha, having faded lusters. Sannajivvaha, having silent tongues. Sadvasaha, having fear of him. Murdhna, with the head. Dhrita Anjali Putaha, with hands touched to the head. Upatashtuhu, prayed. Adokshajam, to Adokshaja, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In the presence of the glaring effulgence of the bodily luster of Narayana, everyone else's luster faded away, and everyone stopped speaking, fearful with awe and veneration. All present touched their hands to their heads and prepared to offer their prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adokshaja. text 24. Api arvag vrittayo yasya mahitva atmabhuva adayaha yatamati grahananti sma kritanugraha vigraham. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although the mental scope of even the demigods, like Brahma, was unable to comprehend the unlimited glories of the Supreme Lord, they were all able to perceive the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by His grace. Only by such grace could they offer their respectful prayers according to their different capacities. Purport. The Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, is always unlimited, and His glories cannot be completely enumerated by anyone, even by a personality like Lord Brahma. It is said that Ananta, direct incarnation of the Lord, has unlimited mouths, and with each mouth He has been trying to describe the glories of the Lord for an unlimited span of time. Yet the glories of the Lord remains unlimited, and He therefore never finishes. It is not possible for any ordinary living entity to understand or to glorify the unlimited personality of Godhead. But one can offer prayers or service to the Lord according to one's particular capacity. This capacity is increased by the serving spirit. Sevan mukehi jihvado means that the service of the Lord begins with the tongue. This refers to the chanting. By chanting Hare Krishna, one begins the service of the Lord. Another function of the tongue is to taste and accept Lord's prasada. We have to begin our service to the unlimited with the tongue and become perfect in chanting and accepting Lord's prasada. To accept the Lord's prasada means to control the entire set of senses. The tongue is considered to be the most uncontrollable sense because it hankers for many unwholesome eatables, thereby forcing the living entity into dungeon of material conditioned life. As a living entity transmigrates from one form of life to another, he has to eat so many abominable foodstuffs that finally there is no limit. The tongue should be engaged in chanting and in eating the Lord's prasadam so that the senses will be controlled. Chanting is a medicine and prasada is the diet. With these processes, one can begin his service, and as service increases, the Lord reveals more and more to the devotee. But there is no limit to His glories, and there is no limit to engaging oneself in the service of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please repeat the translation. Although the mental scope of even demigods, like Brahma, was unable to comprehend the unlimited glories of the Supreme Lord, they were all able to perceive the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by His grace. Only by such grace could they offer their respectful prayers according to their different capacities. So how all the demigods, important personalities of this universe, and Brahmanas, Rishis, they were awestruck at the transcendental effulgence that emanated from Narayana, his bodily luster, glaring effulgence. So much so that it faded away everything there, and everybody stopped even speaking, and they raised their hands to their heads and started offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. So these personalities who were there, although they were not able to describe or comprehend the unlimited glories of the person who was before them, but still they had got the good fortune by the grace of Lord Narayana to see his form. The Supreme Lord, if he wants, he can do anything. All these devatas, of course, they are all his representatives in the material world. But still, in spite of having so many material desires, how did they get the darshan of Lord Vishnu? So that is left to the prerogative of the Lord. The Lord can give darshan to anybody. Normally it is said that Ata Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriye. The normal way of seeing the Lord's transcendental form is to see with the spiritual eyes. But the Lord is omnipotent. So if He chooses to give darshan to the material eyes, for a moment waking up the spiritual eyes, because behind the material eyes there is a spiritual eyes. If the sense of seeing is not there from the soul, these eyes are useless. So for a moment, our sense of seeing, which is spiritual, touches the Lord as He is in front of us. So by His mercy, He can become visible. And that is how all these devatas, they all had darshan of the transcendental form of Vishnu, of Narayana, Yajneshwara, Yajnapati, Janardana, the Lord of all living entities. He appeared to show mercy upon them. So only by such grace one can able to perceive the transcendental form of the Lord. And also, seeing the Lord's form is one thing, but having the consciousness to see who He is, what He is, apart from the form, His qualities are, or to feel His mind, that is another thing. Premanjana bhakti churita vilochanena. That is a different thing. Seeing the Lord with bhakti in our heart and seeing the Lord as a matter of fact, He is before us. Even if He is transcendentally appearing, He is different. Just like the holy name is appearing before us. We are hearing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is a Shabda Rupa Avatara, Nama. The Krishna's name, Shuddha Nama, is eternally vibrating in the spiritual world and is incarnating on our tongue. So we are able to touch the Lord with our attention. In other words, we are able to hear the Lord. But hearing the Lord, just like these people, they saw the Lord, they were with awe and reverence because of the transcendental beauty of the Lord, which is only a starting point of bhakti. It was not about love. To experience Krishna's mind, Krishna's transcendental kindness, compassion, all this, to feel his heart, that comes only with bhakti. So just like the demigods are seeing Vishnu, we are hearing every day Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. But we are not in ecstasy. The same situation. Why? Because the heart has to be cleansed. Heart has to be cleansed, and our spiritual sense of seeing has to be awakened, which is covered now by the material sense of seeing. What is the material sense of seeing? We see everything as what is there in it for me. Selfish seeing. And when there is transcendental seeing, when our sense of seeing is, you see everything as part and parcel of Krishna's service, as part and parcel of Krishna's will. Everybody and everything is moving, acting as a part and parcel of Krishna's total self and his energies. So that kind of seeing, transcendental seeing, is different from material seeing, is different. So it is a question of consciousness, how we see. Selfish seeing, that has to change into transcendental seeing. Several times, Srila Prabhupada during morning walk, he has elaborated that. What is meaning of seeing Krishna everywhere? What is the meaning of Krishna? What is the meaning of seeing Krishna everywhere? It is not that you see Krishna's rupa in this wall and then you see this wall, here you see this wall, all his rupas are everywhere. That is not what is meant by the pure devotee always see Krishna. So, let us hear Srila Prabhupada, some of the things, then we will continue. One time a devotee picked up a bluish colored flower and handed it over to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada took it, smelt it, then held it far away and looked at it saying, "Oh, this is like a beautiful man without any qualification." He then tossed it away. It had no aroma. Upendra liked to ask Swamiji questions on the morning walks. Swamiji, Upendra asked, "What does the spiritual master or pure devotee see as he walks through the park?" "He sees Krishna," Prabhupada replied. He thinks that these are Krishna's trees and this is Krishna's house. He sees everything as belonging to the Supreme Lord. Upendra pursued, but if Krishna is everywhere, does a pure devotee see Krishna on the wall on the right and then the wall on the left, or in the corner, or in between every atom? Does he see one form of Krishna merge into another? Where does one form of Krishna begin and take off from the other form? No, it is not like that, Prabhupada said. Do you see my spectacles? Yes. So whose spectacles they are? Prabhupada asked. They are yours. Prabhupada pointed to his shoes. And what is that? Those are your shoes, said Upendra. Yes, Prabhupada said. Similarly, a pure devotee sees Krishna like that. Everything is Krishna's. This is how he sees Krishna everywhere. Near the end of the walk, when Prabhupada had answered many questions, Upendra asked again, Swamiji, you have spoken to us so much, but I forgot most of it. What will you remember what the Master says? It is all, but when a person becomes Krishna conscious, he will be able to see his relationship with Krishna. Another pastime. Once Srila Prabhupada was talking about two butterflies that were flying together, and he said, just see, there is also family life viewing the world through the vision of Krishna Bhakti. There was never any time that he wasn't seeing that way. Once when Brahmananda read a prayer in Krishna book, describing Krishna as the creator of the material elements, Prabhupada spoke up. If you do not accept the sky, he challenged, then who made it? The blue of Texas sky was now fading into twilight, and guests and devotees alike looked up at the sky and then back to Srila Prabhupada. According to Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada said, Krishna made the sky, Bhumirapo analo vayukam. So we should study like this, Aham sarvasya prabhava. Material thing, but he created it. In this way, study Krishna. Not just study Krishna with the gopis. Then you will misunderstand. But the more you understand Krishna, the more you will become his staunch follower. Unauthorized persons never paint Krishna creating the sky. They always want to see Krishna dancing with gopis, and in this way they can support their own lusty activities. One evening while in his garden, Srila Prabhupada looked at the sky and said, so, is the sky the color of Krishna? In Krishna book it says, a disciple answered, in Krishna book it says that Krishna is dark bluish like the thunder cloud. The sky is the color of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada. It is the light of the effulgence. Often after Srila Prabhupada went to listen to the recording of that morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, sometimes he made me pick star jasmine flowers which grew on the bushes outside his garden. The flower's scent was especially fragrant at night. One evening while smelling a sprig of blossoms, he said, this is Krishna. One morning, Shyam Sundar and I walked with Prabhupada. A steep decline dropped left off the dirt road. To the right rose a hill topped with rows of pine. Just see, said Srila Prabhupada, pointing with his cane. All trees are facing the sun. Clear example destroyed my conditioned faith in the theory of evolution. So like this, Prabhupada practically in his morning walks, he clarified so many fundamental questions of the devotees, clarified to them to see Krishna everywhere. Prabhupada said this Krishna, he sees Krishna's house. The entire existence is Krishna's estate. We have to feel this. In the material world, we feel finite people's estate, ownership, property, power, everything we experience. It is very much part of our life. We observe this power, this opulence, that opulence. Is it not? And when it comes to Krishna, a little difficult because we are conditioned to appreciating finite things. But it is inconceivable for us to think of the opulence of the Lord, Aishwarya of the Lord. Krishna consciousness is not about Krishna alone. Krishna consciousness means Krishna with his opulence, Krishna with his Shaktis. That is how the personal philosophy means Shaktiman and Shakti as the absolute truth. It is not that, Maya is Brahman, is Krishna. No, we say it looks incomplete. How can it be a person alone? No, for them Param Satya is Brahman only. For us Param Satya is Krishna and everything, because it is connected to the Supreme Absolute Truth. It is His energy, His opulence. Only a person can have opulence. Only a person can have a feeling of ownership. Only a person can have a feeling of God that he has created. Aham sarvasya prabho mata sarvam pravartate. Aham sarvasya prabho. Everything is, coming from me. When Krishna says, he enjoys that opulence. That is his rasa, one type of rasa. Entire existence is for Krishna's rasa. As Prabhupada says, what is this earth? Every planet has got unlimited living entities, unlimited varieties of life. It is not possible for us to create a total picture of Krishna and his Aishwaryas. But Prabhupada says that if a devotee in his own capacity, he can appreciate, because you need unlimited means you need unlimited intelligence to appreciate. Balaram Ananta, who has got unlimited intelligence, with his unlimited intelligence, he is not able to sing fully the glories of the Lord. So this is a nature of that Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, that Krishna Tattva is like that. Very important for us to understand this philosophy. Krishna Tattva is like that. Just like, we deal with Krishna as talking to Arjuna, we deal with Krishna as with the gopis. These are all his extraordinary, merciful leelas. They are all Madhurya side of the Lord. So somebody who is too much involved in the Madhurya side of the Lord does not appreciate the Aishwarya aspect of the Lord. It is not required, because he has got sweet relationship with Krishna. But however, it is very important that from the material, because in the material world, we are all stuck in this power rasa, lauding nature. It is important to first surrender, saying that I am not the owner, I am not the proprietor, I am not nothing belongs to me, I am possessionless, and everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna is the owner, Krishna is the enjoyer, Krishna is the proprietor. These aspects the devotee has to go through it. Then after that, then he is not so much attracted because he gets attracted by Krishna's love. He gets attracted by Krishna's personal relationship, Madhurya aspect. So, without understanding these two aspects of the Aishwarya aspects of the Lord, that is why Prabhupada always says, he repeats that before you understand the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, you have to go through the first 9 cantos, where slowly the Aishwarya of the Lord moves into Madhurya, sweetness of the Lord. So Aishwarya, Lord of Aishwarya is Lord's opulence, Lord's creation, Lord's power, display of so many energies, all these things. One simple thing we can see, money power, right? Money power in this world. Quite powerful. Means I am talking in terms of feeling. If somebody suddenly, you get a lot of money, you get that feeling of rasa, power. So power is a reality. Because the source of power is a reality. So the entire material world is an interplay of power. Entire material world. So understanding Krishna consciousness means not only understanding Krishna, but understanding Krishna as a proprietor of all these powers. Material energy, spiritual energies. 3 primary powers he has got out of so many other energy shaktis. This was when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained Achintya Bheda Veda Tattva. He always quoted this verse from Vishnu Purana and gave this example of how Agni, fire, is situated in one place, but it emanates light and heat. So there is energy flowing from the source. So simultaneously, is the energy, is a light and heat completely separate from the fire? No, it has come from the fire. So being a cause, always it is connected. Similarly, we all are connected to Krishna. We are not disconnected. Our consciousness now is disconnecting. But in reality, we are connected to Krishna. Our contaminated consciousness is disconnecting and making us forget that, you think you are an individual without connection, without any connection. Or we get connected to, we think I am connected to father, mother, children, house, society, organization, all these things. We forget the actual connection is with the Supreme Lord. As Prabhupada told in this Srila in the end, not only you see everything, you see Krishna everywhere, but also you see your relationship with Krishna. The purport 2-3 times Prabhupada refers to Vishnu as unlimited. That's a very preliminary way in which we have to preach to people. It is not impersonal preaching to say that you surrender to the unlimited. If somebody is anti-God, anti-person, then first step you can tell them, you surrender to the unlimited. We have to begin our service to the unlimited with the tongue and become perfect in chanting and accept Lord's prasada. So coming to this point about the importance of starting the seva with tongue, it is so important. If we manage our tongue, then everything gets managed. Everything gets managed. Tongue is the most difficult to manage because there is practically unlimited varieties of gratification potentially possible for this tongue than for any other senses. It is through the tongue that most of our brain sensations are fed every day. So taking Krishna Prasadam every day and chanting the holy names of the Lord, two most powerful things will change our consciousness and control other senses. Associating with the tongue, associating with prasadam, just like Prabhupada said, Krishna prasadam, if you take, you'll get Krishnaized. Similarly, if you chant Hare Krishna, you'll get Krishnaized. Our consciousness will get Krishnaized. Our consciousness becomes enlightened. Ignorance goes away. Of this there is no doubt. Because, we are all proof of that. Chanting and taking prasadam, we are able to live peaceful life. Bhaktivedanta Thakur also said chanting is like the aushadhi. Yenechi aushadhi maya nashibara lagi. Take this medicine. And prasadam is the diet. With these two things only one can maintain his Krishna consciousness. Chanting and taking prasadam. And then, as a result of that, there is self-purification. Chetodarpana marjanam. Gross body is purified by prasadam. Subtle body is purified by hearing the nama. Chanting and hearing the nama. That is why if you are able to hear the nama, there is a rapid progress that happens in the rapid change in the consciousness. Realization keeps jumping up in our chitta if you hear the holy name. Our entire drishya keeps changing completely. How we see the world changes, everything changes. And then only by His mercy we'll be able to describe His glories. Devotee should hanker. When can I describe the Lord's glories? Not easy to describe because heart is very hard. You can tell some stories. But to tell with appreciation of the glory, tell with bhakti, the glories of the Lord, is something that He has to grant. So we should crave for glories of the Lord and His attachment. And it's a gift that we get from the Nama Prabhu. You should crave for that. Just like for some sweet you crave, the same way you have to crave for the ability to go on describing Lord's glories. Unlimited, no? Go on describing. The greatest blessing. Just like Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta purports. Go on describing. Day after day, purport after purport. Every purport is glorification of the Lord. So therefore, Bhaktivedanta purports are actually outflow of Prabhupada's ecstasy. Sometimes we see it as philosophy, but actually it is outflow of a pure devotee's ecstasy. This all is ecstasy. That is why very often we don't see people who very too rational minded people. They'll see, what is it? We thought, now this verse will connect to this verse. Especially you take Bhagavad Gita. This verse will connect to that verse. This verse will connect to that verse. This will connect to that verse. That should be the purpose of purport. But then you will see purport 1, he talked about that ecstasy over next, another ecstasy, another ecstasy, another ecstasy. Because we are on the intellectual plane. We want to connect everything in the intellectual plane. Prabhupada is in another plane. He is just, that's why submissively you hear, then bhakti gets transferred. It is not that intellectually, when you just come into Krishna conscious first time when you read Bhagavad Gita, you will read it intellectually. You will say, Krishna is Supreme Personality God, okay, Krishna is God, so I want to join ISKCON, everything he will say. But that is not what ultimately you get from, reading Prabhupada's purport. You have to sync with Prabhupada when you read his purports. Then you will see, your heart will move with that. And you will start relishing the purport of Prabhupada. Start relishing it. I remember so many different types of editions of Gita and all I used to just read. Nothing made sense. Especially that Gita Press thing. One small book used to be there at my home. Dai, thou, all those things were, so it was there. And I struggled. I said, it's a disgrace that I do not know Gita in school days. So I'll take it. I have nothing, no connection at all. I don't understand anything. The language itself was like that. Because because in a school you are taught this subject is connected like this, connected like this. It's all disconnected. What is this? Could not understand. Then I got Prabhupada's Gita. Then I was reading. Again I was saying, I don't understand. No connection. I'm trying to get again because you're conditioned like that. I want that total knowledge. What total knowledge I want? What is the connection? Karma yoga, then this one, that one. I want. Of course, there is a connection. But that's what you're looking for. You look for. But then after some time, after 1 or 2 readings, I stopped reading the verses. Only purport I used to read. Because there is no rasa in that. Another type of rasa. I'm not seeing the connecting and all. I was not even connecting. Just read anytime. Only purport I'll read. Purport after purport. Because if I read the verse, I have to use my intellect to connect. I didn't want to go into intellectual plane. This was so much rasa was there in hearing him repeatedly saying Krishna is Supreme Personality God. Krishna is Supreme Personality God. Krishna is Supreme Personality God. How can you enjoy somebody repeatedly saying same thing? But it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. This is Prabhupada's mercy. See, when read, not for the intellectual thing, you should read. This is a treasure. These are treasures of transcendental ecstasy of Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, reading is very important. Reading will take your consciousness up if you know how to read. If you know how to read Srila Prabhupada's books. Any questions? Yes. Mike?
Hare Krishna, Guru. Can you please elaborate the last sentence which you said, if you know how to read Prabhupada books? Can you please elaborate on it? So when you say, if you know how to read,
yeah,
every devotee or every individual may have his own understanding. So if you can elaborate.
No, first thing is, spiritual reading means spiritual hearing. Hearing means you're hearing a person's mind. And when you hear a person's mind, it is not one time that you are hearing. First, each hearing is not separate. His mind, just like when you relate with a person, it's a continuous relationship. That means, you get to know his mind. If you get to know the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it's all come from Prabhupada's mind to us. Because Prabhupada has them all in his mind, that realization, and he is speaking out. He is speaking out his realizations. It is speaking out the Tattva Darshana. He is speaking out the truth. So, in that way, we should participate in hearing Srila Prabhupada. What is Prabhupada's intention? Prabhupada's intention is to give transcendental knowledge. That means change your drishti, how you see. How does it change the drishti? He says, this is how I see. His purport, this is how I see the world. This is how I see the situation. This is how I see what Krishna told in this verse. This is how I see. So that way we are trying to get into Prabhupada's mind, his transcendental mind, Acharya's mind. So without, you see, just like you take a chemistry book. You read on chapter on molecules. You don't need to feel the author at all. Is it? If you read Bhagavad Gita, if you read purport like that, without feeling the author, you will get only what you get from chemistry book. Factual information you will get. That anybody can get. That is not blocked by internal energy. Anybody, even a professor, he wants to criticize Prabhupada, he'll get all the information. He can. Just like Atasi Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriyai. At the same time, but that information you can capture with your intellect. But you cannot capture that Krishna consciousness unless you have respect. You have get admiration. And you have got that Shraddha, that this person is speaking from that platform of absolute platform, Param Satya. So that all that, the Shraddha means that respect is there also. So with these things only we should read. Otherwise it's just like reading chemistry textbook. Of course neophytes are like that, they will read like that. And it is required. At one stage we have to thoroughly cover information also. So we cover the information and that you go on reading second time Gita, third time Gita. I am not saying you should not cover the information. Cover information, you will get fed up in few days. Everything you will be able to tell. Chapter 1, this is the information. Chapter 2, this information. Chapter 3, up to chapter 18, you can tell all the information. If I sit with you and then, tell you to go through this and then give you a summary and everything, 15 days, don't do any other service. 1 month, don't do any other service. You will sit here and tack. You will say everything in Bhagavad Gita, every shiny information you will say. Is it not? What is the next level beyond information? Yeah, one more question.
Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, reading Bhagavatam, trying to study or categorize, like for example, there is a topic wherever it is told about pure devotee, and where Prabhupada speaks about a Supreme Lord's unique quality. Lord Shiva is also there, Lord Brahma is there, Lord Vishnu and Krishna expansions all are there. They all share similar qualities, like they know past, present and future. But there is a particular thing which pure devotees say, even including Lord Shiva and Brahma. Like yesterday I came, like Lord Shiva says, myself and Prahlad Maharaj, and there are so many, Kapila Muni, they all know past, present and future. And we are very powerful, but still we cannot, still we are under the control of illusory energy of Lord. We don't know how vast it is. So it is a point which signifies the glory of the Lord. So immediately I note it down in my diary. So in this way I am trying to do study or categorization where there are unique points. And I have interest in a particular topic like Ayurveda. So my goal is, I am not reading Bhagavatam to get Ayurveda points, because Prabhupada has revealed so many things. But that's not my intention, but on the way I get so many things and I note it down as a glory, how Prabhupada knows everything, how he has revealed everything in purport. So this kind of study, is it an intellectual study, or this kind of study can be done?
No, why we are anti-intellectual? We should not be anti-intellectual. We should study, but we should not only study. That's what I was saying. See?
It is in connection with the glory of the Lord and
Yes,
devotee.
no problem. We should, jnana means intelligence. But measure things with our limited intelligence, that is where the problem is. Trying to, measure up everything. He is unlimited, you cannot measure. You can go on appreciating. That should be the spirit.
So there is a happiness, as you told, when
Yes.
I come to know that I am not able to measure that. And
There is Sat Ananda, Chitta Ananda, Satchit Ananda. There is Sat Ananda is what? Power Rasa. Chitta Ananda is discovery Rasa. Learning, discovery, understanding, comprehending. That is Chit Rasa. And Ananda Rasa is loving relationship. Exchange of loving relationship, love. So Sat is power Rasa, Chit is knowledge Rasa, Ananda is love Rasa and pleasure Rasa. Pleasure is subordinate to love. Pleasure is meant for an ingredient that is exchanged in love. So love and pleasure under one category, knowledge and intelligence is Chit. Power and freedom is Sat. Power and freedom, knowledge and intelligence, love and pleasure, Satchit Ananda.
pure devotee means all these three things he will be enjoying in connection with
Yeah, he's not always, he's in that rasa. When he appreciates that this Krishna's estate, Krishna's house, that Prabhupada say, the whole trees and everything is a Krishna's house. It's not a small house, it's a huge estate, unlimited estate. The owner for that estate. So when he sees like that, he's having the rasa. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.